The views expressed on the Convo Lounge do not reflect the views of our current employers or our future employers.
Welcome to the Convo Lounge, everybody, with your host, Char Rochelle, Amir Anthony, and your boy, Antonio Crow. 2021, we up in this thing, the Convo Lounge. We're going to start it off with the question of the day. What brand do you prefer, Nike or Adidas?
I prefer Antonio Crow clothing. Hey. Shout out to Antonio Crow.
Hey, I like
Self Society.
I like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
We need more thinkers. No, yeah, okay. No, honest. Okay. In addition to supporting my brothers, Nike all day. Nike.
Why Nike?
So of course it's going to be very vain. It just looks better.
Okay.
And I like their slogan, just do it. But all of my running shoes have been Nike. My running attire has always been Nike. It's more fashionable as well. I personally find their clothing to be more aesthetically pleasing. So that's why I've chosen Nike. Mm-hmm. But, and this is, me and Amir had this conversation. I have never owned a pair of Air Max and I've never owned a pair of Jordans. That's like my unpopular lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I'm Nike and Adidas. I like both brands, but when it comes to Nike, I look more at the athlete and the athletes that represent the brand. So when you think of the power of the athlete and their voice, you look at LeBron, you look at Serena Williams and the platform that they have, and Nike has given them that. And then being that it's Black History Month, they have also made lifestyle out of clothing out of Black History Month and representing the culture. So they do a very good job with representing on that front. And it just looks good when you have that Nike hat, that Nike, the Air Maxes, the Jordans. It's a lifestyle brand, and they've done a wonderful job. Now, Adidas, on the other hand, is more on the global front. When you think of other sports like soccer, they do represent really well, and then also other athletes. But I think when you think of the platform and the culture as a whole, Nike does a wonderful job with giving their athletes the platform to make a stance. You look at the commercials that they advertise, and it's definitely for the people. And when you got that Nike check, I remember growing up back in the day, everybody used to try to draw the Nike check, or they would have an NA fade. And sometimes that Nike check will be a little crooked, or the Jordan sign will be a little off. Jordan will have a little belly. Or the head might be too big, but I'm gonna take Nike all day. Air Maxes are my favorite shoe. I have various pairs of them, and then Jordans. The price tag is a little high because it's funny because I rock Jordans back in the day, and the shoes when they bring it back out and they call them retros, I'm like, I had them back in the day and they wasn't even on that price tag. So I kind of went back to this doing Air Maxes, but I definitely rep Nike all day. I appreciate what they do for the brand, for the culture, rather.
Man, okay, so
and then I rock my Nikes with my Selfish Society and my Antonio Crow clothing too, no doubt. My Selfish Society blue hat with my Air Maxes all day. Matter of fact, I rocked that outfit on my birthday.
Yeah, you did. So I'm gonna start with Adidas because Adidas is like synonymous with hip hop. Run DMC, the shell toe Adidas. Run DMC would wear that basketball suit. Now Adidas makes a track. Actually, it's a soccer suit that looks like the actual basketball Adidas with the actual emblem with the tree, like the little leaf or whatever.
The trifold, yep.
Right. I don't like the three stripe and Adidas below it. I like, you got to have the tree right there. So you always got to get me. And then the Stan Smiths, like the Stan Smiths, that is like my favorite Adidas shoe. I got a fresh pair. If it wasn't far, I would bring it right now and give you a 360 of it. But Nike, like I was raised on Nike. Like you got to have Nike. Like Cortez Classics being from the hood, or you could get the Air Force Ones. You know what I'm saying? Or like even the workout apparel for Nike. Fly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's competing with like Lululemon. Like Lululemon, the yoga brand versus Nike, you know, it's almost neck and neck, and Lululemon is like way up there for yoga. So I like them both. Like Adidas, you know, you're gonna see me in my fresh pair of Stan Smiths, and then you're gonna see me in some Air Force Ones or some Air Max, or I do have a pair of Jordans, actually too. My nephew is a shoe head. I grew up a shoe head. Like back in the day, those Huaraches, the basketball Huaraches.
Oh yeah.
Man, the black ones with the purple, man, and the Bo Jacksons, bro.
The trainers, the Air trainers, that was the first cross trainer shoe ever. And they brought them back. I'm gonna send you the link for them. Hey, real quick. The 89 Nike Air Flights. The 89 Nike Air Flights was the shoe back in the day.
Man. I always wanted to like do an internship at Nike, how they design and construct those shoes. It's just like amazing.
Oh no, Nike stays winning. Well, that's what's up.
For sure. And speaking of them representing for the culture, shout out to two of my personal friends, Alric Augustine, who has a campaign with Nike with Keep It 100, as well as out here in DC, Brandon Copeland. He is a trap yoga instructor. You can follow him on Instagram at BrandoFlow. So shout out to Nike, even just like reaching out to our generation and putting them on. You don't even have to be a professional athlete. They're seeing like talent, local talent, and they are definitely broadcasting them and elevating them and their brand. So shout out to Nike for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
sure.
Community partnership. It's dope.
Yeah. So it
Happy
is
Black History Month.
Yeah, it's Black History Month. Yeah,
Happy New Year. Happy all the things. I don't know if you guys can see, this is my We Need More Thinkers, but in a Kente print.
Yeah.
So, you know, I always got to rep and present.
I always wonder how my Fight the Power fist look. That's kind of tight.
It's got to be strong right here in the palm, in that whole area. You got to have that bulge, and you know what I'm saying. You got to be strong with it. Hey, so I am Black History Month. We are all Black History Month, and one thing that comes to mind is, well, first of all, what have you all been up to? It's been a while. We got to tell our listeners what we've been up to.
I'm mad. So now, really quick before you say that, just looking at your sweatshirt, I have a hoodie that says Black History, and it crosses out month and has year. I don't even know why I didn't think to wear that today, but I'll wear it the next time we record. Shout out to Boss Bags. That's where I got it from. But yeah, like, and I have another shirt that's Living Black History, because I feel like we don't focus much on the folks who are alive and doing things to better our community today. We only focus on our ancestors, but that's another rant. Go ahead, Antonio. Tell us what you've been up to.
Well, man, like, I just have to say, like, I'm so glad to have this platform to speak on Black History Month. I work in a corporate world, and I do my independent thing ever since I was 19, right? And what's amazing to me is that when you get opportunity to speak on Black history, what do you immediately think about? Martin Luther King, you think about Malcolm X, but our parents, our godparents, they made the Black history for me. You know what I mean? My history from where my mom came from in Alabama, my dad's from Louisiana, like that is my immediate Black history. And, I've always longed to be a part of what happened with them in that arena. But to be able to say that I'm a Black man, it's a lot that comes with our culture as Black people. It's a lot that comes with it. And to say that we're some of the strongest people on earth, you know what I mean? That may be an understatement. But at the same time, it's very valid. We overcome so much, and we're persevering and we're moving forward. And so Black history is every day. Like every day I can make history. Every day I can do something different. I can learn something different. I can keep my mind in a positive light. And I deal with people all the time, and sometimes I hear negative comments come out, and I ask them, like, are you a negative person or a positive person? Because we've dealt with so much negativity. We really need to get on that positive flight. So anyway, I am Black history. Everything about me is Black history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every day when you wake up, you're making history when you're in this skin, when you're in this melanin right here. And
Yeah.
shout out to Target for allowing creative creators like us, but creators in the fashion sense to market, and then buying the attire that Target is advertising was created by Black creators. So shout out to Target for connecting with those Black creators and those designers for the apparel. My sister actually purchased a bunch of shirts and sweatshirts for her kids to represent. But
Man,
when you
I
think
love
of oh yeah, all day. But when you think of Black history, it's not a month. Even though it's 28 days, in February, we got to think past that. So when you represent, you are Black history, and But yeah, for me, I've just been life is good. I can't complain. You know, uh, Sports is back in full effect. My Lakers, are doing well. My Dodgers are about to start in about another month from now. Football season is a wrap, and we'll talk more about the Super Bowl. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. And I'm refreshed. The golf game is looking off the chain right now. Even though
playing.
Oh, I've been on it tough, man. I've been on it tough with pops, but yeah, even though there's a pandemic going on still, I'm just thankful. God is good. All praise in the Most High, no doubt. Anytime I could be with y'all too, it's a blessing.
Yes, definitely. I've been well. I've been mostly peaceful. Glad that 2020 is over. Hoping that 2021 is going to be a better year, but I've been focusing more so this year on stillness and surrender. So instead of like doing, because I typically open the year doing like hosting a vision board party for my friends and setting intentions for the new year. And this year I kind of was more reflective going into the year and just more prayerful, more in a meditative state to understand what I'm really called to do and be, opposed to what society wants for me to do or what my family, what my family wants for me to do or what people expect, other people's expectations of me. I'm trying to take those off and just like focus on what I was created and put on this earth to do. So I've been still this year.
That's the right way to go, and this is the perfect time to do that. Setting those intentions, setting the tone for what it is for the new year. That's the best way to go with it. Those vision boards, all
And a
those things are
caveat,
important. So kudos to you.
A caveat to that, Shar. Like I think I want to explore in another show, perhaps. How do we know what our callings are? How do we know? I want to explore that a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely should. I don't know if y'all know I'll go on a whole tangent, so we can definitely pin that conversation for another show because I'll go there.
Yeah. No, I think
That's a good idea.
Because when you think about calling, sometimes it's only like related to spiritual base, but everyone has a calling on their life. Even though pastors say that, preachers say that, everyone has a calling on their life. But let's just like as a team, like I want to explore that a little bit.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do a show segment.
I mean, here's the thing: we're all spirit beings living a human experience. So we all have callings on our lives. We all have purposes. I think that some people's callings are louder and more profound than others. Right. But I think that we all have a divine destiny and intention on what we're supposed to do on this side of life. But like I said, we can get into that on another episode because I'll go there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So we kind of already touched on it. What does it mean to be Black during this time of the month? But I think we got to just roll with a WTF or what the what moment that's been going on for maybe about a week, maybe 2 weeks. But we got to talk about the Gorilla Glue chick.
Hey. Like me by now.
Yo, Shar, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one. Like, what's your thoughts? I'm just curious. As a Black woman, when you saw that video, what was your thoughts?
I knew she was searching for fame. I knew she was looking to become an Insta celebrity. It's so easy to become famous these days. Everybody wants attention. Social
Right.
media has given everybody a voice and a platform. So the moment it was sent to a group chat, I was like, all right, let's see where social media takes this. Let's see how much energy and attention we give her. Fast forward, sis has now had an advertisement deal. She's had surgery that's on national television now. She has a GoFundMe. Why are we GoFundMe for a person who put Gorilla Glue in their hair? Like, Gorilla Glue is not even in the hair section of any Target, CVS, Walmart, or beauty supply store. You had to go to the hardware section of the store, or Ace, or Home Depot to find Gorilla Glue. So clearly you were doing it for attention.
Well,
Clearly you knew this was not for your hair.
What kind of surgery she had?
Surgery to get the hair removed, because I guess she'd had it in for a month and her hair was not growing.
Dumb man.
It's dumb. Like, I'm tired of society focusing their energy and attention on dumb stuff with all the great things that are going on with Black people and Black history. We just nominated a Black VP. Why are we focusing our attention on stupidity?
She wanted
That
that.
body.
She wanted that skin tight ponytail. That's what she wanted. That
So I had
She
taken.
should. What happened for Let's Jam from the 90s? Let's Jam,
Right.
Edge Control.
Right. I had taken a break from social media for a while. So when I came back on, I'm like, what is going on? And all I remember seeing was like stuff in her hair, and she's just like mixing it up, slicking it. I'm like, then when I seen it was Gorilla Glue, the first thing that came to mind was like, I know that's not the Gorilla Glue that is used when you're working in like in cement, doing certain hobbies where you want. It's an adhesive. It's not meant for hair. And I was like, what is she doing?
Right.
But I'll tell you this. There is a time for everything, and then there's a time for things where, it's just plain stupidity. And I think that she knew what she was doing, and she has now put herself in an opportunity where she's going to make money off of it. But we see this not just in our community, but all across the board. People become instant celebrities. She has a blue check next to her name now. The GoFundMe.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she has a blue check next to her name. Yes.
Star.
She's like.
Do you know Pastor Mike Todd still does not have a blue check next to his name?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
With over 1 million followers.
Oh,
she's hired a team. The shout out to the Black doctor though, and out here in Cali, in LA, that helped her out. He's gonna get some notoriety and some fame from that. But
he shouldn't. He used all over the counter store bought stuff to get
that's what I'm saying.
Out of her hair. Like, that's not rocket science. Nobody goes to school to use acetone in hair.
Conditioner.
Well, it's a good. Yeah, I agree. But the Black doctor is gonna get some fame from it too. But yeah, I mean, she could have easily did all that, but she knew what she was doing. And then with all of that, she didn't have to cut her ponytail off because she was trying to get that out. This is plain stupid. I hope it goes away, just like the stuff that she put in her hair, and we don't have to hear from her. And she's 40 years old. Like, come on. And when I seen her Instagram profile and I seen the filters and the photos that she has on there, I'm like, okay, yeah, she's not all there. Like, something's clearly wrong with her upstairs.
I'm going to inbox her the India Irie song, "I Am Not My Hair," see if she responds to it.
Now, there is a gorilla gel. There is a gorilla gel for hair, but she used Gorilla Glue. Like, everybody knows that's like Crazy Glue 5.0. Everybody knows that. Even me, who does zero home improvement stuff.
Dang.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the thing is, it's now created a phenomenon where people think it's okay to do this challenge. And I believe someone else did something and their lip or tongue. Yeah. I don't know. It's just stupid. And this is the reason why social media can become a disease. And the mental health is clearly still a problem. when it comes to social media. Like I hope that this sister gets some help. I'm gonna be honest with you, not helping her hair, but I hope she gets some like real help. Like we need to bring Ayana out of retirement just to help this sister or something.
That's why I said a long time ago, give me a flip phone with no camera, no text messaging. Because this right here, you got a video, you can video yourself doing dumb shit. These people are either bored or they have, mental issues.
Yeah. It's definitely an issue.
You need to sign a waiver before you put a camera on your phone. Some of these people.
Yep. Seriously.
Well, she got a blue check and she's about to she's not going away anytime. You know what? She low key might end up being on Love and Hip Hop season like 30 or whatever the hell Love and Hip Hop is right now. She might be on some reality show, some mess where she's not going anywhere anytime soon. For sure. She's not going anywhere.
But I saw the video. She didn't seem like she was an idiot. Like, you know what I'm saying? She really had a cool conversation with the camera. It didn't resonate me because, it didn't resonate with me because I thought it was Gorilla Jail now that you said that, Shar.
Because you kept saying, like, no, I've seen that jail. I've seen that jail before. And I was like, nah, it's not that
she put what you put on bricks. Like, that's the stuff that you see on infomercials at, like, midnight. Like, the Flexi Seal. Like, right. Gorilla Glue. What it said she had that slickety slack back.
With the bottom on your finger and shit. Like,
right.
She was going for that Missy Elliott throwback finger wave joint.
Man.
Yo, yeah, but now that's crazy. Gorilla Glue chick. But no, that was wild. Well,
now's a good time. Maybe we should all start buying stock in Gorilla Glue because I'm sure it's going to go up because all the social media influencers are going to be doing a Gorilla Glue challenge. So let's just all get stock in Gorilla Glue and get rich off of their ignorance.
Yeah.
Hey,
what
you know
I need
what?
Gorilla Glue for? I'm trying to figure it out. What I need Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, for real though. Yeah, stocks. That might be a good sound off later on. So the Super Bowl,
man,
was it whack or was it all that?
It was.
I'm not even talking about the game. I'm talking about the halftime show.
Man,
all of it was whack. All of it. The game, the halftime show. Y'all know my disclaimer, I'm not a sports person, but once I realized the day of, in the moment, that Tom Brady played for Tampa, I'm like, how? Why are we even entertained? And why did they play in Tampa? I thought that if you are in the Super Bowl, you don't get home field advantage. Right. Like you're supposed to play elsewhere. It was so rigged.
I'll clarify for you. So yes, every year when the Super Bowl is played, they play at different locations, typically in warm climate areas, similar to Tampa, Florida. But it just so happened to be that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a wonderful season, thus playing in their home stadium. So it worked out for them. It was just a coincidence. The Super Bowl will be here in LA next year. But
Frank, that was not a coincidence. That was a scam.
Nah, no. I'm explaining to you as a sports fan, every year the Super Bowl is played at different locations. But Tampa Bay had a wonderful season. They won all their games and they qualified to get to the Super Bowl. Like they did it right. Now, if you want to talk about the referees, if you want to talk about the officiating of the game, we can go into that. But what I would say is there's a lot of factors that happen in that game. One.
Wait. So, as a gift for winning all your games, you get home field advantage?
What I'm saying is that they won all of their games to make it into the playoffs, and they were rewarded for winning. Now, the fact that the game was in Tampa, that has nothing to do with it. So if
there aren't other teams who have won all their games in playoffs?
No, what I'm saying is they won their games in the playoffs. They won every game that they needed to win in each round. So let's take out the fact that the Super Bowl is played in Tampa, and let's focus on the fact that Tampa Bay won every round to make it to the Super Bowl. They were a wild card team. And I think there's only been 2 teams in history that have been at the bottom of the playoff seeding to make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So they won their games. and they went to the Super Bowl. The fact that it happened to be played in Tampa probably was an incentive for them, and they probably marked it on their calendar like, yo, we have a chance to play a home game for our Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. So we already knew that the Super Bowl was going to be in Tampa before they won.
The Super Bowl location is announced a year prior, sometimes years prior to. So
all right, I take it back. I apologize, Tampa. I apologize to Tampa.
But what I will say, there were a lot of factors that played into that game into Tampa's favor. First of all, Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, his son got into a terrible car accident that left 2 young girls, and one of them in critical condition, the other one in stable condition. He happened to be under the influence of a controlled substance and alcohol, and he had a prior DUI back in 2008. That was a huge distraction for the team coming into the Super Bowl, and they landed the night before the game. So Kansas City was a favorite by 3 points if you were to place money on a bet. So people came in doubting Tampa Bay was an underdog, even at home, for your point, Shar. So people expected Kansas City to win because Kansas City is the best team in the NFL, probably in NFL history. But that distraction with the head coach's son, who happens to be a coach on the team as well, didn't play into Kansas City's favor. They looked rattled there, and I'm going to go into a sound off later on about what also contributed to it. But the game, it was whack from the sense, maybe if you are not a Tom Brady fan, if you're a fan of another team, if you are a football fan like myself, you appreciate greatness and you bow down to it. And the thing is like, hey, you got to give Tom Brady his props. You know what I'm saying? The man has won 7 championships. He surpassed Michael Jordan. And in the NFL and the way that playoffs work, there are no series of games that you play. It's a one and done situation. So it's a sudden death deal. So for the fact that he in the modern era in the NFL has won that many games, won that many Super Bowls, you got to give him his props, regardless of what you may think about referees and this and that. I've been there too when he beat my Falcons a couple of seasons ago in the Super Bowl, but I got to give Tom Brady his props. The game was whack, and the halftime show, I don't know what the hell that was. I'm not a fan of The Weeknd, and I was trying to figure out if like another artist was going to pop up or something like that. I'm at the point now where I'd rather just have holograms of like artists from the past that are no longer with us. I'd rather have that. That's how bad it is.
You want the Tupac hologram?
I'll take Prince and Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston still to this day has the national anthem ever of all time. And Michael Jackson has the greatest halftime show. I'm even going to say over Beyonce's. When Michael Jackson was at the Rose Bowl back in 90, maybe 2 or 3 at the Rose Bowl, I'll never forget that. Like the technology, like we gotta have to put it in the show notes. Michael Jackson like popped up throughout the whole stadium.
Yeah, but you gonna say that top Prince, Purple Rain, and it rained on the Super Bowl?
Michael Jackson killed. Okay, if I had to do a top 3, I'll say Michael Jackson, Prince, Beyonce.
Yeah.
Okay. Bruno Mars.
Don't ever. I know I didn't hear that. I was gonna say. Not you, Amir. Your friend Antonio.
Oh, what?
He said Shakira.
He wasn't bad.
Nah, that was whack. No, well, I'll say what made it whack. Shakira alone would have been better than having J-Lo. She had no business being at no halftime Super Bowl show. She can't sing.
J-Lo had no business being at the inauguration. I'm trying to figure out what prayers J-Lo said to get all of the publicity she gets. Don't get me wrong. She is a beautiful woman. She can dance. But singing is not her thing. It's not her thing.
I'll put it to you like this. If there is no Rosie Perez, we do not have J-Lo. And I'm going to tell you why. And Antonio, you know where I'm coming from with this.
That's true.
Rosie Perez is why the Fly Girls existed on The Living Color back in the day. If you don't have Rosie Perez, we don't have J-Lo, period. So, yeah, and I'm just going to say that.
Spike Lee met Rosie Perez in L.A. Ain't that some shit? They both from New York.
Yep.
But Look, J-Lo saying this land is your land, this land is my land. They could have had some 8-year-olds, some 5-year-olds to 10-year-olds sing that song for our land. The fuck what was that?
Yeah, that was garbage. I'll tell you this though. Speaking of performances, Jasmine Sullivan could have did that by herself. She didn't need Eric Church, the country singer. He could have just
do by herself.
He could have just played the guitar. He could have just played the guitar while she's singing. Shout out to her. Shout out to her, by the way. That's just
shout out to her. Shout out to the ASL interpreter who was like signing his ass off.
Yeah, he held it down. Yeah.
He did. Other than that, that's the one with the hair.
Yeah, with the Milli Vanilli. Other than that, the Super Bowl was like that was that, and moving on.
You know,
but I will say, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was just so happy to see a live performance because of COVID. I've not seen, and I love concerts. I love live performances. That's like my jam. So I get Weeknd I'm not a fan of his music. It was just good to see like a performance for once in the last year.
My thing is, it's Black History Month, and with all the things that have been going on with the pandemic and the social injustice happening in this country and the ghetto ass white folks storming the Capitol, they decided to give us the weekend. Like, I would have loved to have revisited, to have like something. You got to give me something better than that, NFL. And I have a few sound offs with the NFL and their lack of diversity when it comes to hiring coaches that are Black. But the weekend does not make music for the people. And I mean,
he don't.
That's some coked out nightlife music.
Right.
Yeah, he's definitely skin folk.
This is my issue. His songs do not translate to live performance. So the impact was minuscule. Like the impact, because every song he sang is a hit. They may play it on 94.7 The Wave, but that fool was in rotation all day, everywhere. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So it's unfortunate that those big records did not come across during one of the most important performances of a year. They did not come across at all to a majority of people. Like, it's like, you know, a lot of people hated it. Somebody said, I want my weekdays back.
Right. Right.
I prefer the weekdays. I don't prefer the weekend. Hilarious.
The memes that came about, and then like the one with him running around in that like strobe light background, and I was just like, what am I watching, like a Hunger Games movie? Like what the hell is going on? Like, that halftime show basically sums up the pandemic right now. We were just all lost. He had
a video where he did some plastic surgery to his face, right?
Yeah, that brother, man. Like my dad said, that's a strange brother.
All the dancers had these masks on, and I'm like, I liken those masks to COVID. Like, they're trying to, you know, social distance while being so many people on the stage. It was hideous. They
would have been better off having like just a trio or a variety of different performers. Like, you could have had, I'm just going to toss out names of relevant artists right now. You could have threw out Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. You could have threw out, you know, I mean, there's just a list of different things that you could have done than the weekend. Like, for me, when it comes to Super Bowl, I need to be entertained. I need to have a live band. I need to have some music. I need to have something. Like, they could have even had, I don't know, there's a ton of things that could have been done better than this happening. I hope the NFL next year, when they come to LA, that they give us as Californian natives, as NFL fans and the people of LA, that they give us a better halftime show. They got to come up with something better than that. They're going to have to give me something better.
I want Snoop Dogg.
Rock and roll. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can do Snoop. You can do Rick Ross. Like, there's a ton of artists that you could have picked. And when I seen that he was performing the weekend, I was like, okay, maybe there's going to be like a surprise, like guitar solo from like somebody, or like a live I don't know. That was garbage. That was garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage. So I'm gonna flip it real quick. Keep on the line of sports. A few weeks ago, LeBron James had a run-in with another Karen, with a Karen, not another Karen, but a Karen on the sidelines. I don't know if y'all saw the video.
Another Karen. I'm still off of social media. I do hear things that drop into my my group chats, or if like the Breakfast Club mentions it, I'll know about it, but I'm not hyper aware. Like something about her husband was heckling with LeBron and she jumped in it.
Right. And it blew out of it, and then it became. I think it happened like right before Gorilla Chick dropped.
Right, like a week.
It was like a week before Gorilla Chick, and then it was like LeBron versus Karen Part 1, and it was just all bad. And she had her little like a few days of fame, and then she backtracked because she realized how stupid she was by going after her, and I think she was going to feel the wrath of LeBron James's wife at any moment. But the fans and those people that troll on social media went after her and dragged her pretty well. She realized.
Shout out to Savannah. Savannah is like my spirit sister because trust and believe. When I get married, I'm about to ride for my man. Y'all gonna be so annoyed by me. So annoyed.
She don't play. Don't mess with her kids. Don't do it. And LeBron basically gave her the name that like just shut it all down. He called her Courtside Karen. And that was just a wrap. Like it just like shift list. I put you on the shit list.
Yep.
Can I get a hand clap?
Oh, for sure.
For that one.
Yeah, Courtside Karen. You know what I'm saying? And that was just a wrap.
Wait, so LeBron named her? The internet didn't even name. Oh.
LeBron after the game was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? With his do-rag on after the game, like, yeah, Courtside Karen. He was like, yeah, man, I ain't got no time for that.
Yeah.
And the game was in Atlanta, of all places. Like, sit your ass down. Like, you need to sit down. And they kicked her out the game.
She should never be able to come back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then her husband, you know, some old, you know, Sylvester Stallone looking type dude. It was just terrible. I was just like, get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna defer to you real quick for this next segment.
Who?
You. I want to defer to you for this next segment because this is something that's near and dear to you. Black movies.
Oh, Black movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, this was one of my segment ideas. However, I gotta lead by saying I watched Mo Better Blues for the first time yesterday, and it is now one of my favorite Black movies. I don't know what rock I've been hiding under, but what I will say in my own defense is this. Growing up, my mom was like one of those strict Christian church-going moms, so I couldn't listen to any like lewd music or watch any rated R movies. So in my defense, growing up, and the movie came out in 1990, as a kid, I was not allowed to watch it. However, as an adult, I watched it. I loved it. So just shout out to, I'm gonna start my segment off with, start this segment off with giving props to Spike Lee for killing it yet again for the culture, for being a living legend who does not get enough roses, in my opinion, for his authenticity, for his originality, for always casting the same people. Like that shows loyalty, like on a whole new level. Shout out to Denzel. Shout out to Wesley Snipes. Shout out to Bleak choosing the dark skinned girl, Indigo in the end. Power to the people, not to like promote colorism whatsoever, but being dark skinned in the 90s was not popular, as it still isn't to this day, but we're trying. So yeah, I'll start there and we can just like kind of popcorn around.
Yeah, no, when you hit me the other day, or yesterday rather, you was telling me, I was like, you know, that's definitely one of his top 3.
Yeah.
And
but I will say, so my mom is a huge jazz fan, huge jazz fan. So I definitely was raised on the soundtrack, like going to school, getting picked up from school, very familiar with the soundtrack as a kid. I just had not have the soundtrack on my phone to this day, but I did not I'd never watched the movie.
One thing about Spike that I always admired about all his films is not only does he tie the old with the current or the new, he also has a way of teaching us our history in a way that we can understand it and it stands the test of time. So the fact that you can watch a movie that was made over 30 years ago and it still resonates is powerful, because what he did in that movie was tie hip hop and jazz. And bridge the gap. And the soundtrack, you think of the, Coltrane, Miles Davis, Rakim, that joint that he had, all his movies, Crooklyn, dope soundtrack, Malcolm X, Jungle Fever, Stevie Wonder produced it, dope soundtrack. Like, you think of all his movies, I love them.
Do the right. Do the right.
What's that? Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Yeah.
He basically it put I can't think of the group right now. Public Enemy on the
Public
map.
Enemy. Yeah.
Like that video that video is still the shit to this day. But to go with the round robin, I think of the movies that we were talking about in our roundtable meeting. Out of the movies, I have not seen Malcolm and Marie. I was like 30 minutes in. Shara, I will finish it, but I will say,
I love that movie.
Out of the movies that have came up, shout out to Amazon Prime and Netflix and all the other streaming platforms like HBO Max and Stars, allowing our voices and our history to be told to people that not just in our culture, but also just people in general, to learn about the Fred Hamptons of the world, to learn more that in One Night in Miami, the greatest athletes of our time and one of the greatest singers of all time happened to be together in One Night in Miami. So shout out to Regina King.
Yeah.
Shout out to Regina King. Yes.
For producing that and putting that story out there, because we see the photos, but we never knew the story behind it. So for me, that movie was amazing because my father, huge sports fan, huge Muhammad Ali fan. And the fact that you were able to hear the stories of what took place in that one night was amazing. And Sylvie's Love, oh my gosh. Sylvie's Love was amazing. It was beautiful. It was jazz. I told Shara, Black love and jazz. Enough said.
Yeah.
And it was a time period. It was a timepiece. And what I admired about it is it took place in the 60s, and it didn't technically gloss over what was happening during that turbulent time. Like, it went there, but it didn't go there. It focused on Sylvie, and it focused on her developing as a young woman and coming into her own, and the love she had, and the way the brothers looked back then. Like, it was just dope. It was great. It was great. And anytime Rotten Tomatoes puts a movie over 90%, I'm all in. But yeah, Malcolm Marie, I will watch it. Sylvie's Love, loved it. One Night in Miami, and I gotta say, Judas and the Black Messiah. I
gotta see that.
I haven't seen it yet. I don't have HBO Max, so. But I
got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. But Judas and the Black Messiah. Ooh, the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Did y'all see the Salt and Pepper documentary?
I'll pass.
No, how was it?
I'll pass. They didn't put Cinderella in it.
Yeah, that's why I wanted.
Yeah, they I didn't see that, and I'm definitely not supporting Wendy Williams.
So
I did see Wendy Williams' documentary was very transparent and vulnerable. Like, shout out to Wendy Williams. I'm sorry. Like, she people can say a lot about her. She definitely gives you shock talk, but the one thing nobody can take away from her, she's real. Yeah. And she's authentically herself. Like, you cannot pay for that level of authenticity these days.
She was good on the radio, and that's why it makes sense for her to have a talk show. But she was not, but the trash is what annoys me. But at the end of the day, she was an excellent disc jockey. She was an excellent radio personality. It's just not translating so well into television. But, shout out.
Her show.
Yeah. That's cool.
I've never
Yeah,
watched
she has.
something in my
Me and
life.
my friends love her show, her talk show. She says what we all want to say, and
Yeah.
all of her hot topics is what we all talk about at ladies' night. So
I'll tell you what, when it comes to like made for TV documentaries, to this day, the greatest one of all time is the New Edition. Period.
it's who? I'm sorry.
The New Edition one, the New Edition movie.
Oh, yeah,
Like when
yeah,
it comes to TV documentaries on like the culture or music, New Edition and the Bobby Brown one on top of that is good. But all the others with like Whitney Houston and like I think there's been a few other artists. I don't, you guys can help me out here. But I wasn't about to support Salt and Pepper, and they didn't even like acknowledge Spinderella. That was kind of cold.
Yeah. Lifetime sucks with documentaries and biopics. Lifetime sucks. But the Whitney Houston documentary that was in the theaters a couple years ago, I can't think of the name of it. It was probably just Whitney. That one was phenomenal. Shout out to Amir for phenomenal. I cried, but I'm a huge Whitney fan. Like,
aren't they making another one? They're making another Whitney.
It was in the theater a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn that they're like casting for another Whitney biopic, like an official one. But and speaking of, I don't know. I think this is like a series that National Geographic does, but they're doing one with Aretha Franklin and old girl who played in the Harriet Tubman movie. I can't think of her name, but she's casting to play Aretha Franklin. I'm like, I'm good. I'll be waiting for the Jennifer Hudson one to come out this summer.
What?
I'm still waiting for it. I want to see Nipsey Hussle's documentary.
Is there one coming out?
No, not yet. But if they do have one, give me credit for it. And Lifetime, please don't even touch it. Don't touch it.
That won't happen. That will not happen.
My biggest, I say critique, because I don't hate Lifetime. Shout out to Lifetime. But they will ruin your relationship. Lifetime is the woman Nazi channel. Every woman on Lifetime television has been abused, is a victim. It's just so annoying. And I'll say this because I used to watch it with my ex. Back in the day, in the 90s, I used to watch Lifetime and be very engrossed by these movies that are like railroading men. So yeah. Me and Lifetime, we don't get along anymore. I can't even watch Lifetime for long.
If you don't like Lifetime, then you would hate Hallmark Movie Channel.
From a critique, probably so. If it's a whole bunch of victims and men cheating and men stalking women and shit, I just can't.
Oh yeah, no. Hallmark is just more like the redundant love story.
Oh,
but yeah,
God.
Lifetime will give you a socio. The thing I don't understand about Lifetime is how many times are we going to tell the same story differently and just bring in different races to tell the same story about a woman marrying a sociopath or a psychopath rather, getting murdered by him and her family being shocked. I'm like, how many times can we tell this same story?
Will ruin your relationship.
Now I'll tell you what, the catalog on Hallmark is the whack. It's not meant for us, period. Especially during the holiday time. Like it's to your point. It's the same. But I'll tell you what, I struggle with BET.
Oh,
Rob, is it Bob Johnson or Robert Johnson? Robert Johnson, the former president, CEO of BET. When he sold Bob Johnson, when he sold BET to Viacom, it was a wrap. I was on BET Plus, BET, like the Tyler Perry catalog of shows. Listen, wait a minute. I was
curse at me. Do not curse at me.
I was on the holiday break. I was on my holiday vacation, and I was just like, I'm just curious to know what's on the platform. And I think I sent the screenshot to one of my boys, and I was like, dog, I can't believe this nigga has a show called Bruh. He has a show called Bruh. And
trying to tap into every
man, I'm like, Tyler Perry, please stop. Just stop. Stop making TV shows. Stop making this. Like, stop. Like, you don't help. You don't help.
No.
You don't help. I'll give him props for his business acumen.
Yes.
Other than
that's
that, that's it. I'm not down with like the show. Like, it's cheap production.
Yes.
It looks like a stage played with like, and it was like recorded like on his iPhone, and he's just like, yeah, go. And then like yeah.
He basically brought the Chitlin circuit to the main screen.
Right.
And then he like tries to boast about the fact that he writes all of his material and there's no other writers in the writer's room. Let them in.
Yeah.
You need help, brother. You need help. Let them in.
That's garbage. That is garbage. Now, what I will say,
I'm still mad at him from Shamar Moore's hairline.
I'm still mad at him for the pubic hair he put on bruh in that Saving Grace or Fall from Grace movie.
Oh, that black top.
What are you doing?
Listen. I'm just happy he finally retired Medea. That's all I got to say. That right there was this trash. But I will say this: when it comes to TV shows or TV series, y'all did hear that The Best Man is going to come into a 10-part TV series with the original cast.
Okay, I can respect that.
And I don't know what streaming platform it's going to be on yet. I don't think they announced it. But when we find out, we'll definitely let the listeners know. But yeah, shout out to streaming platforms, Black movies.
That's all we got. I will, going back to Malcolm and Marie, shout out to John David Washington.
Oh, that brother can act.
I'm sorry?
The brother can act.
Oh, he can act. But shout out to Zendaya. She outacted him. She definitely outperformed him slightly. They both embodied their roles. They lived those roles. So love the movie. I do not condone toxic relationships. I don't condone arguing.
That's why I did that.
Yeah. I don't condone any of those things. If you are in a toxic, emotionally abusive relationship, please get out and find your local therapist ASAP.
Yeah.
But the movie and the art of the movie, lovely, perfect, great acting.
All the brother had to do,
real life, though.
All the brother had to do was get his trophy and say thank you, babe. That's all he had to do.
That's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. Men. Thank your women. Listen to us
every morning.
The same way that men always say, or what people always say, men are simple. Same. All he wanted was his Kraft macaroni and cheese. She made that whack meal for him, which was disgusting. God. Like, I would be insulted if a man ever asked me to make him Kraft. But if that's what he wants, whatever. All she wanted was a thank you. And somehow, some way, that was lost on him. And he kept trying to narcissistically bring it back to a topic that was not at hand. As she consistently said several different ways, this is all I wanted. Why are y'all like that?
When we receive adulation, is that the right word? Adulation or praise in certain spaces that is hard for us to get in. In his case, it was in the film industry and trying to get that appreciation. We as men sometimes forget the ones that are our backbone and who got us there at that point and who was there during the struggle. And we get lost in the moment. And it's a selfish mentality that all men have. We all have it. It would be wrong for me to say I've never been in those kind of predicaments before. But watching the little bit of it and then like the stories that were on social media, one, I would never ask my woman to make me no crap. I don't even eat crap macaroni. I would be like, hey, babe, make me a turkey club. Make me a turkey club sandwich.
A turkey club.
A turkey club sandwich. Anything. I don't eat box, nothing. So anyway, but yeah, I think that's what it is. You know, we get in those moments where we just like our swag is on 1,000. I know for me, you know, I've had those moments. So that's probably where it stems from. I think all men have those moments where we're just like, yeah, you know, look at me. I got this.
Yeah, when you start feeling yourself.
You're feeling yourself, your swag, your walk, everything. You feeling
Ego will get you single.
That's true. Look, but I really appreciate the fact that Denzel is in the movie. That's really good. The Little Things, right?
Oh yeah, that's dope. That was a good one when him and Jared Leto.
His son is in Malcolm and Marie right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of times you see like thespians have offspring and then their offspring try, you know, and it's like, oh yeah, well that's so and so's son or daughter. But I really appreciate that the young Mr. Washington embodied his craft of acting, right? He embodied it. Like the movie Tenet, I was able to see. I've been begging to see that movie ever since it came out because it looked so good in the previews. That movie was it was good, but it was confusing AF. Because
yeah. Listen,
good.
Anytime you watch a film with trying to think of the director's name. Anytime you see a film with Christopher Nolan, it's a genre of its own. If you ever seen any of his movies, whether it was the Batman series or if it was Inception, it's like you're going somewhere and you may not return back. Like it's like you got to be focused. Like you can't, like you got to be dialed in. So when you're watching Tenet, it's like I was trying to figure out if I still haven't received like the information that I'm gonna have to read into it some more. But I was trying to figure out if it's part of the same universe as Inception. But it was strange. It was strange. Like it was a lot going on. But shout out to John David Washington. And going back to Spike Lee, he killed it in Black Klansman.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. He did.
That was the one that he killed it in. And he killed it on the show Ballers, by the way. Ballers on when it was on HBO, it's no longer active show anymore. But during the time that it was on for like 4 or 5 seasons, he killed it as a former football player. But he's a great actor. I'm looking forward to his greatness. I actually went to Morehouse's homecoming game years ago when he was a running back at Morehouse. And Denzel was there. I saw Denzel. So
nice.
shout out to John David Washington and his greatness.
And let me give one more comment about Spike Lee. I just have to say this, y'all. So in my little short stint of production and doing music production, stage plays, and even what do you call those reality shows, whatever. Mm-hmm. Everyone would always talk about this movie, that movie, and my thing was I wouldn't watch a movie unless it had a black person in it, like it wasn't represented by black people. If I didn't see someone in the previews, I was not interested. So I would bring up Spike Lee, and people would be like, "Oh, I don't like Spike Lee. I don't understand his movies." Oh, Spike Lee this, I don't understand his movies. And that would annoy me because they don't know the jewels, even though it's already been said today. They don't know the jewels that Spike Lee has dropped since the beginning. The jewels. Yeah. And not only that, the artists that he has put on the plateau of excellence. And we're just talking about Denzel. You know what I mean? Like I feel that Spike Lee is responsible for so many talented people that's killing it. So I would be remiss if I didn't say that. Like I had to say that because y'all brought it.
I agree 1,000%. I'm going to say this. You got to put him up there with the Martin Scorsese's. You got to put him up there with the Steven Spielberg, the George Lucas. He created a genre of his own that gave the Black culture an opportunity to think and to realize the impact that we've had on not just society, but the world.
Yeah.
And he teaches us. He's put historical Black colleges on the map and fraternities and sororities on the map. He's put music on the map. The things that are happening in this country right now, he talked about 30 plus years ago and Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
Talks about colorism and interracial dating, still a topic today. And the fact that he's never received
colorism within school days and HBCUs and the Divine Nine.
Yeah. And the fact that he's never won an Oscar for any of his wonderful work. He received an honorary one, but still to this day, he should have won more from Malcolm X, period. He should have won one in 92 from Malcolm X. Yeah. But and shout out to all of the athletes and entertainers that helped finance Spike Lee to make that film, because there was a lot of hate that came from certain communities in the Black community that didn't want him to make that film because it was controversy at the time. But shout out to all the entertainers and athletes like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Bill Cosby, and all of them helped him finance that film because it was a lot making that. So shout out to Spike. Spike is man. Actually, shout out to Spike. He actually replied to me one time on Instagram.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he replied to me. I had reached out to him. I think it was in regard to like a movie. Oh, it was for the Five Bloods. I had reached out to him, and he replied back. It was like a question of when it was going to drop or something along those lines. But speaking of Netflix, I just got it one more time. Give praise to our brother who's no longer with us, Chadwick Boseman, his last performance on the movie Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which was also executive produced by Denzel Washington. That was one of his last performances, and that was really great to see his greatness in that film. So I just wanted to throw that out there. All right, next segment. Sound off. My favorite segment before we close. Tony, I'm gonna give you the microphone right here, brother.
Man. So on I think it was Wednesday or it must have been Tuesday. I got into this social media. I think it was Instagram, and I saw like this comment about someone being biracial and how she felt that people are oppressing her or whatever. And then I ended up on YouTube looking at all these videos, and then it came down to Debbie Allen and Queen Latifah dated, and I was like, what? Like Debbie Allen, like I did a video before for Queen Latifah, her video from a movie, and I met Queen Latifah. Everybody called her Dana. I met her, talked with her, everything. And I know what her life was even before a lot of people did. So it really didn't matter. I don't care about people who are lesbian or whatever. But Debbie Allen, oh my God, like that lady from Fame, and right here is where you start paying and sweat.
Is it fake news or is it like legit?
Nobody's denying it. So I would just say this: if it is fake news, I guess it wouldn't matter. But it's shocking news, I'll say that much. Because, it's no big deal at all, but it's just like, wow. It's just like, wow. Queen.
Yeah, I ain't touching that, bro.
Is Queen all the way out the closet now? Like for real?
Okay, I had that question the other day because she's now starring in The Equalizer, which, by the way, is very interesting because I'm not feeling that.
Right.
Because it was originally a movie that Denzel starred in. Now it's a TV adaptation. But I had that question too, and I was trying to figure out if she's ever actually did so, and I'm like, I don't think she ever has.
But the thing,
which is none of my business, but I'm just saying.
Everybody know, and don't nobody care. Like,
and she is gorgeous in person. I met her one time at Venice Beach, at a basketball tournament back in the day, and this is, I think, at the time when Living Single was like at its height, and she was rocking a North Carolina Michael Jordan jersey, by the way, and it's real cool people. It's real cool, and hey, it's all good. I'm not feeling that TV show, by the way.
I've seen her in concert. I saw her in concert a couple of years ago at the Kennedy Center. She has a beautiful voice, wonderful stage presence. Queen is definitely, she embodies the word queen.
Oh,
so,
without a doubt.
Very beautiful woman. Her stage presence, she was very personable as she was performing. She would give us snippets and monologues before she sang a song, and I loved her. I felt like I was kicking it with my cousin as she's singing to us.
I always tell people when I talk about like my favorite female MCs of all time, she's definitely in my top 3 because it was at the height of the music video culture, and her and MC Lyte are always going to be, because they brought a sense of sisterhood to the rap game that doesn't happen anymore. I mean, you got Rhapsody out there who's like doing her thing, but holding her own, and UNITY. Oh man, that's one of my favorite rap videos of all time.
That track.
Shout out to Queen Latifah, baby. Shout out to Queen Latifah.
Sure.
But Antonio, you wild for that one.
No, Antonio, tell them why you really mad. Tell them why you really mad.
Because I have a crush on Debbie Allen.
All right, there we go. All right.
See, Dana got the smash and I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
Now Debbie is married, and Norm is younger. Norm is younger than Debbie.
Yeah, Debbie Allen just touched like 70 something. Hey, shout out to Norm Nixon. Norm Nixon was the coldest point guard before Magic came.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Storm and Norm, baby.
Respect to their relationship, Debbie and Norm's relationship is no disrespect. I'm just saying, well, before all that happened or whenever, if I have my opportunity,
I'm gonna have to reach out to someone who actually knows that family, and I'm gonna see if that's actually true or not. More to come on that. But anyways, my sound off. I was thinking like, what can I actually talk about? And I said, you know what? Forget the Gorilla Glue shit. I want to circle back to the Super Bowl. And my sound off is shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not just for winning the Super Bowl on Tom Brady's seventh, but Shar, you would appreciate this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have coordinators, their coaches, their coordinators for their positions are all black men.
Okay.
And so your offense coordinator, your defense coordinator, your special teams are all black men. And what I appreciate is that Bruce Arians, who is the head coach, who's a white man, gave credit to those brothers. And they have a woman who's also on the coaching staff as well. But he gave props to that coaching staff. He said, I don't give a damn. My staff gets all the credit. And the thing that I'm going to have to say as my sound off is I don't appreciate the fact that once again, in the league that is 75% black athletes in the NFL, that the 4 coaching positions that were vacant going into this new season, not one of them had an opportunity to interview. So you can go to Eric Bieniemy, who is the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, Byron Leftwich, who is the offensive coordinator, who basically, to tell you, he's basically Tom Brady's coach, Shar, just to help you out, as a black man. Byron Leftwich didn't get an opportunity. You only have 2 black head coaches in the NFL right now, with Mike Tomlin, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you have Brian Flores of the Miami Dolphins. He got fired. Anthony Lynn got fired right after the offseason at LA Chargers, and he's now a coordinator over at the Detroit Lions. So, which is garbage team. So that's my sound off. Once again, the NFL is failing in their diversity hiring. And the Rooney Rule, which was instated by the Rooney family, who owns the Pittsburgh Steelers, had created an opportunity for each of the 32 teams in the NFL to not hire, but interview candidates for head coaching positions. Mm-hmm. And they failed. And these coaches, these coordinators are highly qualified, and they're hiring these guys to come into opportunities for great teams that don't have the experience. And these brothers have been putting into work. Not only were they great players, but they also have been great in their own as coaches of these teams. So that's my sound off. Shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their coaching staff with black men and also a woman on the staff, the diversity that they have. But the NFL, once again, you're shitting on the opportunities that these black coaches should have.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast called I Am Athlete. It's Brandon Marshall's podcast with Chad Ochocinco, Channing Crowder, and Fred Taylor. Phenomenal podcast, y'all. I'm not even a sports fan, but I tune in every Monday without fail, if not just to see some fine black men on camera. But I digress. They have very good show content. And I learned from them that oftentimes when a black coach would get fired, it's always publicized that they got fired. But if a white coach gets fired, they narrate it different and say like he transitioned or he left the team.
Right.
So like there's like not even that fairness within the NFL. It's
wow.
I have an issue with sports in general, not the talent behind it, but just like the mentality about it. It gives me it just gives me modern day slavery. But I
respect that.
But
yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, I take issue with Black people sacrificing themselves in a very physical way for financial gain of white people, essentially. Like, how many Black people own sports teams?
Yeah, that's another conversation for another day. I actually, when I was in grad school, I did a master's thesis on the impact of playing college athletes, primarily Black athletes, while in college. And one thing that resonates with, to your point, is there is a failure um, with the way Black athletes are shown. And to your point, we're looked at as just that. So when you have a Lauren Ingram, who is a Fox News contributor, tell LeBron James to shut up and dribble and stay in your lane and not talk about the racial injustice and the things that are happening in this community, goes to show you what they think of you as a Black man in this country, as an athlete, that you have no opinion or to speak in that area. So it's an ongoing issue, not just with NFL, but also a lot of other leagues. But I will give the NBA credit for giving those athletes an opportunity to stand on their own and talk about what's going on. But you do have a lack of Black ownership across the board. So yeah, that we can do a whole show, and I can bring people in that are actually in that arena coaching that can give you more insight.
Yeah. Well, my sound off is against Bravo. I'm not sure if you guys know, but I love reality TV. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I am a reality TV show fanatic. And while I love Bravo, Andy Cohen, you are my bestie in my head, but baby, it is far too convenient for you to finally cast these token Black people on shows like Summer House, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and what else? Oh, Vanderpump Rules. And I feel like I'm missing a show as well. In all of the social injustice that's going on, we're not looking for handouts. We're just looking for equity and equality. So to help to plug in or cast a token Black person is not solving the issue. The same way you don't put in a random white person on an all Black cast, such as the Real Housewives of Potomac or the Real Housewives of Atlanta, don't just tokenly plot us on a Beverly Hills cast either. So do better. That's all I have.
Hey, it goes back to what you said in one of our shows. They want our rhythm, but they can't take our blues.
Right. Because then all they do is like, I don't know, like I feel like they just kind of give this Black person all this special attention and then have conversations about, well, what can I say? What can't I say? What's offending you? Read White Fragility and leave me the hell alone. Figure it out for yourselves.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's definitely crazy. Yeah, no doubt.
Other than that, I've realized that the world is hurting. I'm definitely hurting, and we need a lot more healing. So, on the flip side and the caveat of my sound off, I just want to send love and light and healing to everyone who is hurting right now, and to America, because it's still not cute. It's still ghetto.
Oh, yeah. There was a meme that was circling around in the social media world, and it was January, the ghetto white folks storming the political capital. And then February, Black History Month, of all things, Gorilla Glue shit. It's just like, this is 2021. Then there's those memes that like, this is a continuation of 2020. So it's like, we're now like in that where it's still 2020. It's not 2021. But yeah, no, I agree. I'm praying for a lot of people out there, and you know, February is Black History Month. It's also, you know, an opportunity to practice self-love, love yourself.
Yes, please.
And shout out to my brother. I love you, Ahmad. It's your birthday, brother. I love you. Much love.
Happy birthday, Ahmad.
And I can't wait to FaceTime you.
Really quick, rest in power to Cicely Tyson. Like, she was one of the greats that I don't think we ever thought we would lose. We would just think she was going to be very immortal and be with us and be with our children's and our children's children. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely sad to have lost Cicely.
Oh, most definitely her transition. I always think of, I mean, she has a great catalog, but I always think of the movie Hoodlum with Lawrence Fishburne and the character that she played in Hoodlum. She killed it. But yeah, Yeah, that's everybody's big mama right there. Our TV screen big mama.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to her transition right there. All right, y'all. Well, it was a blessing to do our first show of the new year. We look forward to doing some more for you all. Thank you for contributing and listening on the various platforms that we're on, Amazon now, and also Apple and Spotify. You can also catch us on YouTube. And you can also follow us on Instagram as well at the Convo Lounge. So we definitely appreciate all the love. You guys want to say anything else out there?
Yeah, just follow me at char.rochelle on Instagram as well as Char's Cookie Jar.
Antonio Crow Clothing. Happy New Year. Let's get it.
And I am, you can follow me at the Prosperous One on Instagram. And, you know, once again, I am Black History. Black History is not just a month, it's a continuation of the entire year. Y'all
It's a lifestyle.
Y'all be blessed. Take care. Thank you for everything. We love you guys. Peace.
Peace.